You guys hear me all right?
Yep, looking good, Coach. Go ahead, you guys.
Sean, what's it sort of like when it's going like that?
Pardon?
What's it sort of like when the offense and defense just puts it all together like that? What's it like just even watching that?
Well, look, I mean, it's every series you're working on. That series specifically, I thought we did a lot of things well. From a field position standpoint, you know, we felt that was going to be real important. And really it wasn't until the second half that we gave them a short field. And defensively, you know, fortunately we had to stand there, but it was a good team win.
From a play calling standpoint, you had criticized yourself earlier in the year, but was this about as good of a play calling rhythm as you can have in that first half?
Listen, I think the players did a really good job. They're tough defense, really hard to run it against, and we did enough things well in the passing game early on.
Were you surprised how much zone you played? I know that was a game plan. Do you think that
some good runs? Thought we blocked well up front. So there were a lot of things that we did well. And again, it's a good football team. We felt like one of the better teams we've seen up to date.
Well, how important is it to get those early stops to set the tone?
I can't hear you guys. Someone put another in. Go ahead.
Sean, getting those early stops and kind of making them one-dimensional on offense, taking away the run, how much did that change the game for you guys?
Well, look, I think, you know, we found ourselves in a little bit better third down situation relative to down distance. We were able to find some ways to run the football. Again, you know, this is a funny league. You know, things can go well, and we know week to week. You know, we'll look at this tape. We'll make some corrections. Obviously, it was one of our better games as a team, and yet, you know, we'll enjoy it and then get ready to work, you know, beginning tomorrow.
Hey, Sean, can you talk about Michael Thomas coming back, what you saw from him, and also as an extension of that, how much your offense has grown? Like on that first drive, you had 7, 8 guys make yards, including Taysom's pass.
Yeah.
What is it? How's it flowing like that?
It was good to have him back. One of the things that I would always say, and one of the challenges, especially for a player like Mike, he's had such great health and stamina, and you know, he's a guy that has played 50, 60 snaps a game, and this is really the first time coming back off an injury ever for him in the NFL. And we wanted to be smart relative to the pitch count, but he handled it well. I was really proud of him. It's good to have him back out there. It was good to have Emmanuel back out there. It was good to have Marquez back out there. All these receivers were back in the lineup, and but it was really good to see him get in the flow of a game, because I think sometimes the mistake could be how much we use them in that first week back. And again, we'll look closely at the tape, and we'll kind of go from there.
Sean, your DBs have taken their share of criticism so far this season. How did you think they played overall? And was this the kind of game that maybe they needed a little bit?
Well, I think it was the kind of game. It was one of those games that I think as a team we can build on, and I would say, much like Tampa Bay, build on their Green Bay win. That was a significant win for them as a team. The film was impressive. I thought in the secondary we did a great job. I thought the rush and the coverage complemented each other well, and overall against a really good offense and defense. I mean, we understood the type of team we were playing.
Sean, can you kind of go into what you saw in that goal line stand? I mean, that's been an area you guys have struggled all year, and yet you stopped them 4 straight times from the one there.
Yeah, listen, we were fortunate. Dennis and those guys did a great job. We stopped the run. We broke up a couple passes, and then at the end there was a play action. That was an impressive series, and we put ourselves in that position. It was the one thing coming out of halftime that we talked about not doing, and it was a third down play where we ended up with the fumble, and defense was outstanding there.
Sean, it looked like on some of the offensive drives that you rotated Ruiz and Easton in. Was there something from a matchup perspective that you liked better about subbing those two out?
No, I mean, we didn't do it in drives. We were planning on playing both of them in the game, and we did that. But it was good to have Nick back.
Sean, does Taysom kind of find some juice here? It seems like the last couple of weeks he played probably his best ball of the year.
Listen, I thought he played real well tonight. It was a big part of our plan. I thought he threw the ball well in some of those situations. The play, to Cook early was a big play, and obviously there's a physicality to when he's running the football that is important to our team.
Do you ever remember having a game where every skill position player that you had active got a touch on offense, or is this a unique game in that respect?
I haven't kept track of that, I can't recall. We have too many guys that are up and down. We just have a handful of personnel groups, and we're trying to, put those guys in really good positions. Again, this is a real good run defense. I think they're much improved in the secondary, and we've been impressed with watching the way they play coverage, the way they play their zone and their man-to-man. They're a big pressure team, and we got a handful of it tonight, and then we got some prevent looks, but it's a really good defense, and we knew that coming in. So I was proud of how we were able to handle that.
Sean, that first touchdown, when they kind of overplayed Alvin and Traquan ran free, is that something you expected to happen or saw maybe happening, or what was sort of the origin of that play?
It was a pump screen to Alvin. He wasn't getting the play. He was the decoy, and then you look to set up what looks like a wide receiver screen, and then a couple seams into the cavity, and it ended up working really well. Traquan came wide open, and Drew was able to make an adjustment in the pocket and get the ball to him.
Sean, you were kind of talking about building on this game. What's kind of the important next step to make sure this is not just like a 1 week thing, to kind of keep going from here?
We're going to look at the tape, and a season is made up of a series of games, adversity, tough games, and this was the positive one that I think is one of our better team games. All right, thank you guys.
Taysom Hill,